Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode review. This is our episode 85 review. The final arc of Sevens is reaching its halfway point. Crazy to think that there are only 7 more episodes to go. And of course, as we are in the climax of this show, I know there's a lot of fans feeling some PTSD effects given how some of the prior Yu-Gi-Ohs have ended. And so, what did I think of episode 85? Well, I actually really enjoyed the episode, to the point where I thought it was actually one of the best duels in the show. Not just one of the best duels recently, one of the best duels in the show. I think this is exactly what a finale duel should encapsulate. This was an incredible episode for Roa. It was a really good episode, and my only hope is that a lot of these characters have finale duels on this level, and I'm going to get into that and everything that I liked about this episode. And going into this duel, I should say that Roa was a character that I liked, but didn't really love. Roa's stock shot up for me after this episode, very similarly to what happened with Soulburner's character after the Soulburner Revolver duel at the end of Reigns. And so that's how much power a finale duel, probably the last time we're ever going to see a character in action, has when determining their overall value. And obviously Roa gets the win, and we're going to talk about that. But the way that he got the win, I thought was really symbolic and wonderfully done. The duel action was really good, and as the two characters went back and forth, I was really torn. I really didn't know who was going to win. I was leaning Yuga, especially when Roa ended his second to last turn, and Yuga summons Master of Seven's Road, a beautiful fusion monster that combines Seven Road Magician and Seven's Road Witch, which is actually a pretty easy monster to summon because Seven's Road Witch's effect allows you to summon Seven's Road Magician from your hand if you have it in your hand. Now, that's not how Yuga ended up getting these two monsters on the field, but as someone who's played the Rush Duel video game quite a bit, having Seven's Road Magician and Seven's Road Witch on your field at the same time are really, it's really not like a crazy rare occurrence. It was something that happened to me quite often when I dueled using spellcasters. So this is a fusion monster that I feel like is definitely doable and definitely pretty easy to get out because of the synergy between Magician and Witch. Of course, we also see Seven's Road Sorcerer, the final Seven's Road monster in the archetype, and it is fitting that we see the master of these Seven's Road monsters in this duel as well. And it is, again, a really cool monster that gets attack boosts and support based on how many Seven's Road cards are in the grave. It's got a base attack of 3k. Magician and Witch are always going to be in the grave, so it's always getting a 600 attack point bonus. But of course, Yuga has all of his spellcaster monsters in the grave, a 2100 attack point boost, and so the Master has over 5,000 attack points. But Roa somehow is able to survive, takes his final turn. Once Miniscape played, I knew Roa had it. Seeing his bandmates Ushido and Geta behind him was really cool. And you know, going into this duel, one of my criticisms was that Ushido and Geta were mistreated, and I thought maybe should have been the ones dueling in lieu of Yuga. But after this duel ended, and now looking back on it, I'm kind of happy it was Yuga. I think it just, for symbolic purposes, was a great win for Roa. I mean, think about it. Roa defeats the Seven's Road, the master of Seven's Road. If that's not great symbolism for how Roa felt so disdained and so upset that he was not chosen to be the holder of the Seven's Road monster, and at the very end of the show, he's finally able to, in some way, conquer those demons by beating over the monster that symbolizes every single Seven's Road monster and symbolizes all the heartbreak that Roa felt as a kid when he was looked over and passed over on Biotis. And I think that's exactly what this episode tried to encapsulate. We see the first time that they duel, which was, you know, at this point over 70 episodes ago, and we see how upset Roa is by the whole Seven's Road fiasco, how he wasn't the one selected by Otis, and he loses in that duel. He falls short. And then in another big duel against his cousin Roman, he falls short. Every single time Roa has had a big duel, he loses to Luke as well. He has fallen short, and he hasn't been able to get to that level that not only he wants to get to himself and that he expects to get to, but that we as fans have wanted to see him get to. I mean, Roa always seems to falter when the pressure is on and when the duel is important. You know, he'll beat a character like Geta, he'll beat a character like Yuka, that was a pretty good win, but when the duels are really important and things are on the line and his reputation is on the line and his own ego is on the line to a degree, that's when he has always failed. And so to see that finally change course in this episode and in this duel, I thought was really, really symbolic. He's wanting to atone for what happened with Roman as well. We saw, very early on when the show began, he, to a degree, assaulted Roman by, grabbing her and throwing her against the wall and then manipulating her and pressuring her into doing something she wasn't really comfortable doing. And so that was something that obviously is a character flaw and something that Roa needed to atone for and improve on as the show went on. And I felt, even without this episode, I felt like he was improving and, we didn't see a hiccup. Like, we didn't see it happen again, and because of that, I felt like it was the show's way of showing us that he was trying to atone for how he horribly treated his cousin, 80 episodes ago, and we kind of get confirmation that that's exactly what was going to happen, and he's a little upset that the world chose Roman to go solo and did not choose him to go solo. So it just seems like this is a guy that, once again, kicked in the gut at every single chance, down on his luck, and to see him finally grab his future and grab what he needed to grab in this episode by defeating the Sevens Road archetype, by defeating Yuga, by getting a big win, by getting his groove back, right? The king returns, by getting Roa back was amazing to see. And I thought this episode, from a symbolism perspective and just from a character conclusion perspective, couldn't have been much better. It was just super good, a great episode for Roa. As for Yuga, obviously, Roa wins, Yuga loses again. It's his 9th loss in the show. The right character won. As this duel went on, the right character won. This is a duel I don't think you can argue that in. And I know there's a lot of people who hate Yuga, and they hate him because he loses a lot. I don't associate win-loss with being a bad character or being a great character. If you hate Yuga, you had to love Playmaker. Otherwise, there's hypocrisy there. I do think that he's lost a little more than I would have maybe liked, because it is a little old. It doesn't have that same shock factor that a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Tag losing used to have. That being said, the book on Yuga was closed probably 2 or 3 losses ago. Him winning this duel would not have changed people's perspective. If you hate Yuga, if you don't think he's a good duelist, if you don't think he's a good character for that reason, him beating Roa would not have all of a sudden made you go, oh wow, never mind. I never mind those 8 previous losses. I take back everything I said. The book has already been closed and written on Yuga from that perspective. Let's give Roa the win here. That was the best decision, and I think they made the best decision in this particular duel. As for the Master of Sevens Road monster, I think I would have liked to see it maybe not be destroyed the first duel that it debuted in. That's something that we got to get used to as Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. I remember Roman, I think it was Folda Blitz, right? It was Folda Blitz Roman summoned against Sushiko. Once we saw she was summoning that monster, we were all like, all right, Roman wins. She didn't. Sushiko won. Sevens has really gotten rid of that Yu-Gi-Oh! Precedent where we see a new ace, that character automatically has to win. That's really not the case at all. And so I would have liked to see Master of Sevens Road debut in a duel where maybe it was able to get a win. Seeing it debut and then get destroyed is strange and not my favorite, but I still thought it was a really cool monster, and it was still great symbolism. Again, I think that having Roa destroy it was the right decision. I just would have liked it to have been used probably one duel prior to this duel, to being defeated by Roa. But, those are my thoughts on the episode. We also have Yuo at the end, which is fascinating. Yuo on instinct alone is seemingly trying to get his memories back. Now, that seemed to have been sparked when Yuo remembered the Sevens Road book. When Mimi mentioned the Sevens Road book, it seemed like it sparked Yuo to go down this path. I think there's a tie between him and those missing pages, but we'll have to wait and see. 86 is kind of weird. Luke versus Bakuro. And I think 87 has been confirmed to be Roman versus Princess G. And then after those two duels, we have 5 episodes left. So definitely keep it right here for everything Sevens as we wind down the 7th entry of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on this episode down below. I will definitely be in the comments section. And a special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, Panther J, Blue Maiden 28, and Jarrett Buller, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, and Erick Avila, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons, Ccapacappuuu and Syn Cloud. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Thank you to everyone who is a YouTube channel member. You guys help me out and you help out this channel so much. I cannot begin to explain how thankful and appreciative I am for each and every one of you. Definitely check out my Patreon for more channel exclusive perks down below in the description. I stream on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. Links for all those will be in the description. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the comments, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.
Why can't you see that I'm speaking with sincerity? And I think you should make a lot more money, 'cause it's what's best